Good evening, John Augustine here, Bishop Joseph Strickland of Tyler, Texas. Light, and that's the important thing. Let there be light. He has some other word there, but don't be bothered with that. And he says the challenge of the laity in the 21st century. And this particular chapter he talks about he talks about the catechism, he calls it, but it's the catechism, the traditional catechism. And apparently in the United States, they kind of withdrew that or diluted it and started trying to be cozy in the Catholic faith. And the big change that was made, and he said even when he was being taught in seminary, was this modern, cozy, chummy way of teaching. And it had a disastrous effect because people want the truth and want a strong, sturdy faith that it's not sort of all things to all people and all this type of stuff. So the catechism, the proper catechism, and the way it was taught in schools before all these changes took place was the correct way to do it. And there was plenty of vocation in the priesthood and all. And every Catholic nearly was practicing the Catholic faith. But when they started making all these changes, it didn't work. People just fell away. So their souls in grave danger of eternal damnation. So Bishop Strickland, as he became a bishop and become aware of these things, tried to change that and go back to basics. That is the only way to do it. Celebrate Mass with the priest and the bishop himself facing the tabernacle, not turning their back on it, bringing reverence back into the celebration of Holy Mass. And of course, the sacraments, the seven sacraments, all great benefits of the Catholic faith: baptism, First Holy Communion, confirmation, and learning the catechism in the proper way, the fear and honour of God. And Jesus didn't water it down when he was on this earth. And the Gospels, when you read that, prove that it's a very straightforward way of nourishing your faith. And it's not the way they made all these changes. And it didn't work. Had disastrous consequences. Well, Bishop Strickland, when he started studying things and coming to the conclusion of what was needed in his diocese, and he started trying to implement that and teach the catechism and all the rest of it in maybe the schools that they were responsible for. And the homes might have been parents, but so he started doing that, and people then started coming back because they wanted something solid and the truth. They don't want any of this sort of everything is grand and you'll do, and changing things. That doesn't work anywhere. You want, if you're rearing a family, you want to have values that children, because children, even before they're born, have feelings. And they know, believe it or not, when they're born. So that's why abortion is so evil. The feelings that these little babies have in the womb, they nearly know. And then as they're growing up, they pick up what's going on. This is why mothers are so important, to nourish their children as our Blessed Mother nourished baby Jesus. What a lovely family that was. And Saint Joseph, the guardian of the Holy Family, and Mary, the centre, and Jesus, the centre, of course. And that's the way it is in any good home. And when that's taught properly, people are uplifted. So the Latin Rite, the celebration of the Holy Mass in Latin, as it was for years, is now celebrated in the United States, and people are going to those masses and they're very happy. Now it's been interfered with by the Vatican, to their eternal shame, because it's the universal language of the Catholic faith. Latin. You can get mass everywhere. So Bishop Strickland in his own diocese is doing what they all should be doing, but they're not. So they will have to answer for their neglect when they meet their maker, whether they know it or not. There's no good administration and all this other thing. You want to just pass on the faith and make sure you're bringing back all the lapsed Catholics. You won't do it with cozy this, that, the other. You have to go the traditional way with the priest facing the tabernacle. Bishop Strickland has come around to that and teaching the catechism as was. Correct. That's what he says. So I agree with Bishop Strickland. And it's funny how he's so unique. And the art should be like that. Teaching the faith as it should be taught. And including in this country in Ireland, the island of saints and scholars. No longer that. And small families, but it was large families. Churches was packed. Confessions was packed. I hope Bishop Strickland has experienced that in Tyler in Texas. We'll continue tomorrow. Bye now, and hymns after this, and we'll let's talk after that. Bye now.